Hello everybody and welcome into today's action-packed video. I hope you're ready for this because I most certainly am. I had an amazing day, the weather was awesome, I got out and about, and I found some amazing treasures. So in coming videos, you're going to see a couple pieces that I found, and here's one that I absolutely have to show. Look at this enameled 14 karat and 18 karat gold pocket watch. Absolutely amazing with the rose cut diamonds and the orchid design, and also to have the watch pin and the watch, and then look at the back with that glassy enamel. I can't help myself but show you some of the treasures I find. So that pink opalescent enamel really got me, and look at that detailed orchid. And again, you normally don't find the watch with the pin. I picked that up today, and I have to say that that's one of the coolest things I found in a while. Let me show you one thing that's out on my desk as well. This came in one of the box lots that I had sorted, probably 3 months ago, and I wanted to make sure that I tested this. This is solid 14 karat gold, so please, even though it's not signed gold, please slow down when you look at thimbles. Most of the time these are gold filled, some of the time they're 14 karat gold. This weighs over 5 grams of solid 14 karat gold. Definitely worth more than its weight, but in just gold alone, it's $250 plus. So it's over $250 in gold. And guess what? I would say to a person that collects gold thimbles or oddities in gold, it's worth more than that. So this came out of a box that I had paid $24 for. $24, and I wound up with a solid 14 karat gold thimble. So please slow down when you're looking at such pieces because you can make tremendous amounts of money. If you enjoy my videos, please consider going over to Bully Run Coffee on YouTube. That is Jeremy's channel. Please go over and smash the subscribe button. Please subscribe to Bully Run Coffee. That's where we host our Tuesday sales, Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you see things in the videos that you like, more than likely they're for sale, and you just have to come over to Bully Run Coffee. So just make certain that you're subscribed there, and please share out Jeremy's channel because I'd love to get him to 2,500 subscribers. He's at like 2,100 or 2,200, and that happened just within a matter of a couple months. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for going over to Bully Run Coffee. I normally don't tell anyone what to do, but I would really love for you to do that. Why we're here today is to get into this box. You might say, why do you have a pencil from the 1980s, 1990s? This is mine as a kid and I never sharpened it. Maybe someday that'll be worth money and collectible. And why I'm doing this is, let's see here, W-A-S-H, wash meat. Look at the dust on the surface of this box. It is so incredibly dirty. So this is basically why I show you the layers of dust on everything. This is an authentic sort. I have not been in this box for quite a long time. Let's get it cleaned up. Let's make sure that we're here for the live sort. And again, thanks so much for bearing with me and being here. We'll get that kind of wiped down and cleaned up because I also want to keep this box that this jewelry came in. Now, this did come from an estate sale, and it's a very early tin box, probably around 1860 on this one. It's a very dark green with this kind of tomato red, and look at that layer of dust. Authentically old, wonderful tin box, and guess what? It's completely loaded. As I struggle to get it open, it's completely loaded with wonderful pieces and parts. Again, this video might have to be 2 segments, and the reason for that is, as you all understand, I am a full-time reseller. I do it full-time every day, all day long. So I do have now on my desk 7 eBay orders, and I have to get them out in the mail tomorrow. So I have to write some labels, and I also have to get the items packed up so they'll be safe on their journey. I did not pre-sort any of this, but what happened at the estate was a lot of these pieces were in the bottom of a very early chest of drawers. The family sold me the entire box, the whole contents, for $100. They said, we like 50, and I said I'd feel better paying 100. I know it's only 50 over. There's a lot of broken pieces and parts and components. I did not see anything worth tremendous amounts of money. So I did wrap this up and stick this here. The rest of this were in smaller boxes, and I consolidated them down. So we'll kind of take a quick peek and see what we've got going on here. I do remember some of the pieces, but I don't remember all of them. I think this is a premium from that ExxonMobil. I believe it's that Pegasus. I'm trying to think again of the company. I know it was, petroleum company. I think that's the trinket from it, probably as a premium or maybe a Cracker Jack prize in celluloid. A lot of these things, I do keep a lot of pieces and components with these sort videos. An old watch, and likely what's been happening with a lot of watches like this, the cases are more valuable in gold than the watch itself as a running watch. So a lot of times families have melted down the cases over the years, or the watch stops working and then the cases are melted down as well. So that's an interesting watch movement as well. Let's take a look at that, because again, I didn't really study this. So it looks like an earlier Movado, more than likely. And there's the jeweled movement on the back. Again, I'm not a specialist in watches, but when I when I had to catalog sales, I had to make sure that I knew what I was doing with watches as well. So I learned an awful lot over the last 10 years of being in this business, and my hands are already going to be filthy because this jewelry is very dirty. This is a filigree pendant of some sort, a panel out of a bracelet is what I should say, that now I would love to turn into a pendant. A crystal stone that's definitely costume. This is Hollycraft, more than likely. That is absolutely Hollycraft. Didn't need to look at it. You can tell by the pastel colored rhinestones. A lot of people say, you're so quick at this. Why do you go so quickly? Because I can't do the unjarrings. I just can't do, go to the thrift and buy a jar for $49.99 in hopes as you cross your finger that you have something there. With so many hands and so many eyes on those jars, both in the people that load them and the people that are shopping them, I avoid them. I just avoid them, and other people have great success, but I've had much more success doing things like this in my personal journey of over 30 years, by the way. And I always look at it and go, I was kind of the OG of thrift stores, and at 51 years old, I was going in my early 20s. I've been doing this for 30 years, and I had my fair shake of great success stories of jewelry jars. I just don't do it these days. I guess I should say I don't have to, nor do I want to. But these are the kind of sorts that I want to show you, because this is what I still do. And these are garnets, and this was Victorian, and you can see this has had a very rough life as a brooch. I would use those stones as being harvested and put into Victorian pieces. So this little part, to somebody else, they might say, I'm going to throw that away. Well, you basically just threw away about $500 to $600 in restorations of Victorian garnet jewelry. So slow down and look at these pieces on a more serious level, because that could make you a whole lot of money in restorations. I have made tens of thousands of dollars in restorations per year by keeping parts and components. This is rhodochrosite. And I've often loved rhodochrosite. That's a very small cabochon, but beautiful. Someone would be willing to spend a little bit of money on that. A lot of little pieces and parts. I'll just let you go in and take a look at on your own. A lot of dust, a lot of dirt. I've often said I've never been afraid of dust and dirt. And one of my favorite sayings, as you all know, hashtag Jason collects diamonds to dust. So it's true. This is Czechoslovakian glass, a few more rhinestones. Ooh, this is kind of interesting. A lot of times these are gold. And you know what? This one is probably gold. And here I go, telling everyone else to, yep, this is gold. Telling everyone else to slow down. And look at that for that little lapel pin. Sometimes these were used on a felt, meaning these are a lapel pin, or this would go on a circular felt disc. And then this would be screwed down in, and it would be a fountain pen wipe. So it'd be a circular felt disc. This would be in the center of it, and you would wipe your fountain pen on that circular felt disc. That's a lot of times what these were thought to be. This one's probably lapel version based on those little spikes. But look at that little diamond and that little garnet eye on that elk. Definitely a Lodge piece from a Lodge. I would say it's 10 karat gold rather than 14. Look at the detail of that, though. Could you imagine remaking that into something like set it on a really cool ring? Like, wouldn't that be fantastic as a little cool ring or a pendant? Like maybe have an onyx stone with a hole in it and then make that into a larger pendant. Very cool. You know, make it a little bit more wearable and don't change the mechanism on the back. There's no need to have to change that. You could just take that little threaded piece off and leave the threaded part on the back. So, you know, hold on to this piece that unscrews and thread that through the onyx and have a jeweler make a little tiny gold nut on the back. Don't know who she is, but she's beautiful. Very early photograph. I usually keep these. I didn't know she was in there. That could be family. Not sure, but I won't scoot that back over top because that surface is very fragile. So I don't want, I'm going to put her on the top. I just decided. Let me back this out. There we go. I want to put her on the top so she doesn't get scratched. I have a great affection for these historical figures that come with these boxes. A lot of times I just keep all of them in another box. Okay, I don't know why I seemed so panicked just now. But, my energy level, I just go, oh, I remember. So I did bag this up or put this into this old tissue. And I did bag all of this up. So this was loose in the bottom of a drawer. And they said, just, again, add it to your pile. I said, okay, I will. An old coin. Let's see here. There we go. Not familiar with such early coins, but a lot of people are. I just put them in a jar. And I have done a little bit of research. This is Victorian. That is likely that could be imperial topaz is what it could be. That could also be glass. More than likely glass because I'm seeing some molded. Yeah, that's glass because I'm seeing some molded facets on the back that those are not cut and polished. Love that inset with the stones. Kind of that precision inlay I've been over before. A cute little lantern charm. And a little enamel sterling silver lace or lingerie pin. And my bad jokes about lingerie. I say lingerie just to be a jerk and drive people crazy. This one's gold filled, unfortunately, too far gone. All the pearls have been either claimed or fallen off over the years. Meant to look like Yogo Gulch sapphire, but those are actually rhinestone. Those are not Yogo Gulch sapphire, but meant to look like Yogo Gulch. This would have contained a photograph, has its original cover. What I've used these for now is I actually use them for fur memorials for people. So I will sell them to people and you can take the little prongs, up, remove that paper back and put animal fur of your cherished pet inside of these. So that's what I've done. And then you can have your little fur underneath that compartment and wear that as a memorial piece. There's nothing wrong with redoing some things as long as you're respectful. Are these gold? See, this is the weird part is, yeah, I think this is gold. Well, I think part of it is gold. Some of it is gold filled. So that's to be tested. Yeah, that's part of a chain. And then they tied it together with that old thread. So that could be gold. If that's gold, that would be probably like $200 worth because it's solid and it's heavy. So yeah, I would say probably $150 there. Probably about 3 grams is my guess. And then, this is cool if there's another one of those. Hopefully there's another screw back with that bullet-shaped glass cabochon. And a single cufflink with these stones. Why I've kept these over the years is when you find the Trifari Jelly Belly brooches, the lucite and sterling brooches, if there's not another one of these, I use these bullet-shaped cabochons as the eyes of the Jelly Bellies by Trifari, the lucite and sterling silver brooches, so you can use those as eyes. If there's another one, I would never pull that apart, but if there's only one, I would. A single beat-up silver bead that someone probably would have thrown away, but I wouldn't. It's had a long life. I respect it. And a Victorian glass brooch. Someone would say that's Whitby Jet. Nope, that's French jet, which is essentially black glass. Victorian. Needs a tube or a pin stem on the tube hinge. There we go. Now I spit it out right. And yeah, I like it. A silver chain, a couple clasps. You know how I love these old filigree clasps. And I'm not hiding anything. I just got a lot to look at in this box. So those are probably 14 karat gold. Let's bundle that back up and put that off camera. Oh, I need to put my little Pegasus somewhere. And again, thanks so much for joining in. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I think this is going to air closer towards the weekend. I always pre-record my videos and I never know exactly when they're going to come out. Let me straighten that out for you. Have it at an angle on here. This is going to be a tough one because this back of the box is broken out. Let me hold that together. And I can't, well, I guess I could bring it up to here and show you what we've got going on and move some things out of the way. This is going to have to be sorted off camera. Why I sort these off camera is there's a lot of things in the bottom of these boxes that are real little stones, like little stones, little pieces of metal. And there's a tendency to have little pieces of gold, single diamond earrings. I can't even begin to tell you the amount of jewelry and sellable gold that I will find in the bottom of these boxes, okay? Also very useful rhinestones that I don't want to lose. So let me just bring this up and show you like all the tiny pieces go to the bottom of these boxes. Do you see all these tiny little jewels in the bottom here? Some beads, some loose stones, a really nice glass bead that I really like a lot because it's old. You have to go slow on beads. Sometimes there are very, very early beads in the bottom of these boxes because when bead strands broke back in the day, think about what they did. They didn't throw them away. They put them in the bottom of a sewing box or the bottom of another box. Oh, here's a nice piece of mesh that I can use to restore a mesh purse. You know, when you get the mesh bags that are Whiting and Davis that are missing one little panel, you could just use those. Look at that. You could claim that and use that. Now, to somebody else, that's a throwaway. To me, I could use this, 150 times to restore a mesh bag and then just paint the tile the color of the painted bag. Meaning, let me show you one of those bags. Let me go get one of them off the wall right here. But oops, see, here I go. Here I go, trying to prop things up and hurry, you know? So that's what happens. Let me grab this one because this is the easiest to grab. And I do have a few of these up on the walls, but what I'm saying is you find these enameled mesh purses from the 1920s, 1930s, and there's some little missing tiles. Look how that piece of mesh could do 150 restorations. That's slightly a different size mesh, but if on the other ones on the wall, the mesh is about that size, so you could use that to kind of uncrimp the back of these because they're cold connected. So you just take a little pair of pliers and open that up around that jump ring, put it into the mesh here, close the prongs down, and then paint that white or turquoise, royal blue, or orange, whatever kind of tile you need. See why I've kept those? And then these little tassels that are always missing, these always wind up in these boxes as well. So when you find parts and components, don't be so quick to just put them back in a jar and redonate them. Slow down. Take your time. Do a little bit of research. Don't be in such a panic, as I'm in a total panic to get this done. This is Bakelite, and it's a little Scotty dog. His front leg might have been broken off. No, I don't think that was broken. I think that's the way he was made. But that's Bakelite with that little glass eye. It's a Bakelite Scotty dog brooch. Needs to be cleaned up, but that's cute. Absolutely cute. Now, let's take a closer look at some of these other pieces. This is just glass and brass. Very cool, just decorative. And I know that this chain had me concerned. Let's pull all this up. And let's see on this side. We'll get into that in a minute. This chain had me concerned in the jumble. And the reason why is most of the time these are gold filled. And let's take a peek. Nope, this one's 14 karat. So FN and 14 karat. That's solid 14 karat gold. I would have to, oh, that's a gold clasp all day long. Let's see here. And that's soldered closed. Yeah. Let's dig this out of here because I think this is, oh, is that a mess? Hold on. I'm going to take this out of here and see if I can get this chain undone. And that was the one that when I started throwing all these pieces, this is a mess. This is my life on camera right here. I don't want to break anything. Let me slow down. And you'll all bear with me. I know you will. I know you're not going to click off the video and go somewhere else. Because if so, you would have already done it. Oh, here we go. Yep. Here we go. So why people, they always say, why don't you like to untangle things? I said, because I've done it for over half my life. That's why. And it takes a little bit of patience. I used to love to untangle things. My mom would always give me like this big jumble of stuff. There we go. I got it. My mom would always give me a big jumble of stuff from like yard sales and stuff. And I'd be like, yeah, let's untangle this. Let's take our time. That's solid 14 karat, 100%. And the links are in really, really, really good condition. Yeah, that's solid 14 karat. Let's get a weight on it. So hold on. Let me turn my scale on. Give me a moment. I do everything in grams, just so everybody knows. It's just easier for me. Let's see. That wasn't ready. And that is officially 6.9 grams of 14 karat gold. So today, probably, I'm guessing, as a guesstimate, $375 just in gold. So there we go. Now my box is officially way paid for, and that's a great gold chain. Absolutely 100% 14 karat. I can tell by the color. There we go. Well, here's all I can say. It needs to be cleaned up. That's been in there for a long time. And here's the thing. I wish I would have had that out of there, the day I bought it. But now, here's the thing. Now this gives me luxury to sort some of these pieces with you. These are Czechoslovakian glass. It's probably either a necklace or a rosary. And then this one for sure, that one is definitely a rosary for sure. And the cross is gone. So that's for sure. Oh, the other purple one is a rosary, but it is broken. So that's an early, probably Czech glass rosary. And maybe it's complete and just the one end is off. So I'll get that untangled off camera and we'll see what we've got. That one is that sterling as well? Yep, that rosary is sterling as well. I keep these central medallions and I have a whole box full of religious charms. If you love religious charms, please go over to my video sorting religious charms. I didn't get through my entire collection, but I got through most of it. Here, I'll do a quick little, I'll let you take a look. I'm not going to get too far into this because that would be too much to do today. That's really damaged enamel cufflink. But these are all faux pearls as well. So I didn't want to leave that out. These are all faux pearls. There's nothing real in pearls in there. An unusual piece of glass, likely off of maybe a hat pin. All right, let's go into, hold on. Let's go into this. Nope, just Limoges painted. What does that say? Not apply to leather. I don't know. I don't know what direction that would be. I love old ephemera, old paper things as well. Make me very, very happy. So a watch band. A lot of times these are gold filled. So yeah, so there you go. There's kind of the at least semi-transparent, but slow down and go through the bottom of those boxes, please. That's my recommendation for this video, is just to slow down a little bit. And now we're into, I think, the final layer, maybe, just maybe. This is interesting. I questioned the family on if they had any sort of arrowheads or any sort of Indian relics or Native American relics. And they said no. They said, no. And they had a lot of land. And I was like, most of the people, that in these families in Ohio, they usually have great Indian and Native American artifacts. That's just a random button. Don't know what that was doing in there. Besides, people didn't throw anything away. See, like this family's like, we're not going to throw that away because we may need a button someday. Just a little plastic button meant the world to certain generations. I know it did to my grandparents. And these are all real. These are all genuine. Age on these, I'm not going to get into that in this video because, again, there's so many more experts in it than I. This is incredible. That could be Flint Ridge. It could be. The color of that is great. And yeah, that's very early. And it's got that, again, that little fire pop where that could have been through a fire and feel like, oh, I should feel it, is there's like a divot down in there. So that's probably been through a fire at some point. Really fantastic color in that little one. So a lot of collections will have boxes of artifacts. And I've always been a fan of going through these. This is definitely, yeah, that for sure is an ancient shell as well. For sure. That's extremely early. And you might ask why. It's so smooth to the touch. So this had been a revered object, definitely carried for, a long time. But that is incredible for a very early shell. Absolutely wonderful. Probably at some point was an amulet on a necklace or a beaded necklace way back when. That's incredible. Absolutely fabulous. And let's see here. No, but a lot of smaller points. That one's unusual. So there you go for anyone that likes Native American flint artifacts. Ooh, that's really nice. It's almost like a Mississippian. That could be like a little Mississippian triangle. Most of the triangles were Mississippian. Not all of them were, but most of them were. And again, I'm not an expert, but I know what I like, and I like that whole box. So I would keep all those. And I would say 99 or 100% were Ohio. They could have, these tribes were transient across borders. And the reason why I know that is I found a Onondaga chert artifact down in Summit County, Ohio. And that was from like 350 miles away. The Onondaga chert was like from, Pennsylvania, across the Pennsylvania border. That's incredible that these stones had traveled with these people. I think this is all beads on this side. I'm not sure. And then this, let's get this out of here. This was one of my favorite pieces. And let's get down in here without dumping this whole thing out. This is a mess. This bottom box is broken as well. Everything there was so old. This. And absolutely fantastic. I will do a future video on this. And this is an incredible toggle. And absolutely old. And we'll get into this in another video. And I know the people that collect early Asian collectibles are going crazy. I know you're going crazy, and I would be too. So this would be something that I would put in my collection and just hold on to, but they had no idea what it was, and we'll do this in another video. So that would be worth discussing in another video. And thank you for allowing me to do that. I think this is all beads here. Let's put this down in here, and let's get this out of here because this is stuck on something. There we go. It's kind of a mess. So there we go. And again, thanks for joining in. I'm going to stay on for a couple more minutes and just like show you, I think this is mainly rhinestone pieces for rhinestone repairs. It's some sort of rooster or bird. A lot of these are Vogue. A lot of these were Vogue, but the pin back is gone. So I'll just use that for stones because that's too far gone. That's way too far gone. And everybody knows that. This is, again, claim for stones. It's just a portion off of a much larger yellow rhinestone brooch. Probably Weiss or Kramer. Not sure on these beads. They could be lacquer. This is a piece of Bakelite. Some people would say, well, that's amber. And I'd say, no, it's Bakelite by color and swirl and form. And to have that screw in it, it was definitely a little knob off of something. That would just be a little knob off of a jewelry box or a little dresser. But that's definitely, or it could have been off the lid of a jar. That could have been off of a vanity jar, which I have very many of. And then this one, I wish this was complete with all of its stones. These faux carved stones now, always attributed to Trifari. They're not always Trifari, and I don't think this one is. No, by the finish on the metal, I do not believe that to be by Trifari. But those molded stones that are kind of faux carved, those are really hot right now. If that were Trifari and complete, that brooch is like $800, and it's all costume. So slow down on costume jewelry, and I will keep this to do a restoration on if someone needs these stones. They could easily pay. Let me tell you another thing. I had a Trifari brooch one time, and someone paid me just for the stones out of the brooch. They paid me $800. And why? Because they had a brooch that they needed to restore. They needed my stones, and it was a broken brooch. Missing stones, just like, something missing stones that you would just throw away or put back in the jewelry jar and give it back to where you bought it from. Oh, that's really nice. I hope the other one is here. I'm seeing these with fresh eyes. See, yeah, yeah, that's just rhinestone, but that's goodness. Probably made by D&E for Juliana, more than likely. And people say, well, how do you know? And I go, through experience and through constantly selling for 30 years. These are just those berries off of one of the Depression-era necklaces. So those could restore celluloid necklace. And speaking of celluloid, I love the old celluloid chains. I always keep those for Bakelite restorations. And those are wonderful because you can't get them anymore. Let's take a quick peek down in here. Besides dust and dirt and loose gemstones, let's see here. Let's see if I see anything that sticks out dramatically or drastically. Oh, don't know, but need to know. Looks like it's plastic, but I wish it was glass. A mother of pearl button. Yeah, mother of pearl. Let's see here. Nope, that's about it that I see. What is that little jobby? Is that Bakelite? That is apple juice Bakelite. And it's got the old glass eye in it. What is this? Why don't I not know that this was in here? This is Bakelite, and it's a portion off of something. So that was a Bakelite, apple juice Bakelite brooch from the 40s with that little glass eye. See, here's the thing. Someone else would throw this away. Now, either I find, to do a restoration on the bird brooch that needs its head, or I use that little glass eye to restore another Bakelite brooch that needs its tiny glass eye. That little glass eye could be worth $50, $60, $75, $85 by itself. If you have the person who has this brooch that's whole, that doesn't have the glass eye, those are just glued in. And if that fell out, that's worth big bucks. Do not throw those away. Slow down. Be respectful of what's spanned before us. Don't know who did this one. Could be Robert. More than likely a Robert original. And more crystal beads. I think that does it for the video for today, because all of this is beads. And there's nothing wrong with beads. There's a lot of money in beads. But what I'll do is, I will do a video on beads, but at least you can take a look down in there. And all I want to say is, thank you again so much for being with me. I really do appreciate it. I hope you continue to share out my videos and that you enjoy my content. Thank you again so much, and please go forward with peace and kindness. I guess I'll end this with my classic and simple, I love you because I do.